not joined with Daniel Bryan right now. He is busy doing some GM duties because the way that we just went off the air with SmackDown Live, my mind is blown. I came out here after Elimination Chamber and just said, we have our WrestleMania main event, Bray Wyatt taking on Randy Orton after he won the Royal Rumble match. And now that doesn't seem to be the case. So however that's going to go, I guess we're going to have to wait for Daniel Bryan to get back out here to give us a little bit of a nugget of information of where we're going to go with this. Because right now, things seem to be a little bit derailed. Also tonight on SmackDown Live, the Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose suffered some injuries being attacked by Baron Corbin. But I have been informed that he's been released from a local medical facility. So any other updates on that, we will keep you on the pulse with everything with that. And now we actually have Daniel Bryan joining us. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm a little bit late here, a little bit tardy.
Yes, well, fair enough. I mean, look, everything's been derailed right now. The way that Randy Orton has reacted now, saying that with Bray being the master, Randy's a servant, there will be no competition at WrestleMania. What are you going to do?
So, threw a big monkey wrench.
I feel flustered about this whole thing.
Big monkey wrench,
yes.
The plans, okay? So I talked to Shane. Obviously, we have to have a main event match for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do next week on SmackDown Live, we are going to have a battle royal for the #1 contendership for the WWE Championship, and the winner of that match will face Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
Well, then what happens with Randy Orton?
If he doesn't want the match, I can't force somebody. Do you know whose fault this is? This is your fault.
What?
This is your fault. Yeah. Do you want to know why?
How is it my fault?
You jinxed us after Elimination Chamber when we were here on Talking Smack. You're like, so it's set in stone. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton for WrestleMania.
I don't think I was the only person that thought that.
No, I told you. I said 7 weeks. We have a long way to go. You jinxed us.
I didn't mean to jinx anybody.
Congratulations, Renee.
I thought that I was confirming. I thought that I was dropping information, and that's not the case.
Dropping bombs.
I guess I better watch what I'm saying then and try to
You
look
better
more
watch what
lightly
you're saying
on
on Talking Smack. You could get us in trouble.
Listen, you're the one. So, yeah, I mean, however this is going to unfold, but now we're going to have a Battle Royal next week.
Battle Royal next week for the #1 contendership. I'm actually, it's bad news as far as, like, man, Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
That's the match we were really looking forward to. But, hey, exciting news for SmackDown Live next week. It'll be...
Absolutely. But I just would also kind of like to rewind a little bit to just a couple weeks ago when we had Randy Orton on here after he won the Royal Rumble, and you're like, man, Randy Orton's a badass right now.
Yeah.
And now he just kneeled down to Bray Wyatt in the ring.
Yeah.
No match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, you guys are going to have to get your eyes on SmackDown Live next week because that's where we're going to find our #1 contender. You want to bring on our first guest?
Yeah.
Should we do this?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Alexa Bliss. Yes. Alexa, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Yes, you seem to be in good spirits over everything that's been happening with Naomi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Naomi. See, okay, so I don't even know why she was out there celebrating today. Can we just talk about that for a second? I mean, man, that's kind of embarrassing. Like, what took her, she's talking about how she went through all these obstacles and how it took her 8 years to get the title. It took her 8 years. 8 years. What took me, 5 months to get? I mean, she's celebrating her losses. Do you get what I'm saying with that?
No, I think it's somebody that, I mean, she said she's had all these different hurdles. She's had other injuries. She's had tons of different setbacks here and there, and to be able to go out and celebrate finally getting to the top of the mountain for her lifelong goal, I mean, yeah, celebrate that.
Yeah, now that she's at the top, she has another injury.
You're air quoting injury?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's be honest, she knows that as long as she's injured, she doesn't have to have a rematch, and she can keep her title because she knows the second we get a rematch, I'm taking the title from her.
So you think this is just a strategy to hold on to WrestleMania?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because she's even said that her family's all coming to WrestleMania, but here's the thing. So when she gets in the ring with me, if she's trying to postpone our rematch for an injury, I'm going to make sure that that injury is legit. And you know what? She can come to WrestleMania still, but I'll be the generous one. I'll buy her ticket so she can still see the match, sit with her family, and then she gets to see what a real champion looks like.
I mean, I think we've been able to have conversations with you before when you talk about how hard you've worked to get somewhere, and you're just going to throw away everything that Naomi's been working for?
I'm not discrediting her. I'm just saying you shouldn't celebrate 8 years of losses. I mean, imagine this. Me in 8 years. What I've done in 5 months, and by the end of this year, I'm going to be 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion. Imagine what I'm going to be like in 8 years. That's what I'll celebrate.
Yeah, but aren't there a lot of people in professional sports who start off their careers really on fire and then just go downhill?
Absolutely.
Aren't you worried about that?
You must not know my athletic background then.
Well, isn't there like what if, I mean, you could burn out too fast too, you know, when you come in hot like that. You could burn out. I mean, when you're putting in so much time in the ring, you're putting in so much time on the road. Is that ever a concern for you?
Absolutely not. Because champions do whatever it takes to win. Why would I let myself burn out when I know that I am the future of the WWE?
Well, you know, we talk so much about the athleticism of Naomi and talk about how, you know, she's one of the most revered athletes in WWE, and she's still susceptible to these injuries. That's not something that you ever fear for yourself?
No. No, because I'm not Naomi. Okay. I'm better than Naomi.
You weren't better than Naomi on Sunday. Can we bring that up? Or is that because you didn't sleep well? Or you weren't hydrated? I forgot what it was.
Okay, first off, had no sleep. The Patriots lost.
Wait,
why did that have an effect on
you?
The
Patriots won.
They won.
Congratulations, they won!
Oh my God,
she was so
Brady!
devastated
No,
that
sorry,
she
I
lost the
watched
match,
it on
but
the
now
flight.
she found out that they won.
Sorry,
And
they
now
won.
you must be elated.
I am the former champion. You should let me speak.
I
was watching the Super Bowl on the
Patriots
plane.
won.
I know the Patriots won.
Oh.
My bad. I'm still tired, Daniel. Patriots won. We were watching it on the plane, which means I couldn't get sleep.
You can get sleep. Why? Well, I didn't know you were such a Patriots fan.
Yeah, congratulations. I mean, what a season.
Wow. Okay, well, you know, hopefully when you do get this rematch, when the time comes up, when hopefully Naomi gets cleared or however she's going to be able to bounce back, that you'll be able to jump back in there and be in the right state of mind.
I'm in the right state of mind because I see what she's trying to do, and I'm going to expose her for the liar that she is.
And you're also in the right state of mind because you just found out the Patriots won the Super Bowl. Aren't you going to celebrate?
Has anyone ever told you how rude you are?
I have, actually, yes.
Rude.
Last week I told him how rude he was. I have
Sorry.
told him. I apologize on his behalf, but thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us,
Thank
Alexa.
you.
You're the worst.
She just found out the Patriots won the Super Bowl, and she didn't even celebrate. If I was a Seahawks fan, and I had thought for the
You were
last 2 weeks...
devastated when the Seahawks lost.
If I thought for the last 2 weeks that the Seahawks had lost the Super Bowl, and then I come on here and find out that they win, I would be doing backflips on this table, whether or not I'm cleared.
All right, we need to focus on the task at hand. Nikki Bella and Natalya, we now know they've got a big match set up for next week on SmackDown Live, a Falls Count Anywhere match. Are you nervous for this match?
Yeah, I was actually a little bit nervous in making the match. Actually, I wasn't nervous in making it. I was nervous after I had made it.
Did you regret making that decision?
I was angry when I made it. But they just wouldn't. They don't stop fighting. And it's like they fight everywhere but the ring.
Always.
Right? Like they're just fighting all over the backstage areas. Like, we have to do something. We have to give them an opportunity to resolve this conflict. Right? Elimination Chamber, they were counted out because they were fighting everywhere.
And then it led to this backstage.
Yeah, it led to this.
This is from today. I thought this was from our Elimination
No,
Chamber.
no, yeah. This happened
and that's
today.
the thing, it keeps happening. I mean, whether it's Elimination Chamber, it's here tonight.
It doesn't matter where we are. It's happened literally like the last 5 weeks. They have fought all over the buildings everywhere. They were fighting outside 3 weeks ago and ran into one of the production trucks.
It's unreal.
Yeah, and so yeah, Falls Count Anywhere match.
Do you think that this is going to resolve the issue? Now it's all going to be laid out. It's in the ring. Hopefully it stays somewhat contained. I'm not really counting on it, but hopefully this can actually be the final line
I
of
hope
the
so. I hope so, and I hope everything works out for both of them afterwards. But sometimes you have to give the superstars what they want. They want to fight each other. They're going to fight each other.
Fair enough. And people that want to fight each other. I mean, let's talk about Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin. Again, I can just kind of give that update again very briefly. But you know, this attack right here.
Yeah. So, and I honestly I don't understand it. Right? Baron Corbin. I know Ambrose eliminated him in the Elimination Chamber, right? And that's why he's mad, because he didn't get his opportunity.
Did he not still follow through in that in the Elimination Chamber right after? He's still holding on to that?
Yeah, and that's the weird thing too. But I feel like somebody like Baron Corbin, who he's been a winner his entire life. This is what I'm worried about with Alexa Bliss as well. Right? People who have been winners their entire life sometimes get to the highest level, right? They get to the highest level here in WWE. And then they don't quite make it, or they're not the winner that they thought they were.
If they're not put in that exact perfect limelight spot,
position that they thought that they'd be, and right away.
But people that don't know how to fight back to get in that spot, or how to like.
And that's the thing. You need this sort of resiliency, right? This ability to, okay, Baron Corbin, man, I was the first person out in the Elimination Chamber. How do I get better? How do I come back?
Yeah.
Instead, he's blaming somebody else. He's blaming Dean Ambrose. But we saw him how many times did he come on here and blame me for not giving him opportunities
all the
to
time.
do this,
Absolutely.
and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and I'm also upset because we didn't get a chance to see the Big Hog perform tonight. We didn't get a chance.
We didn't, but you got a good one-on-one encounter out there. I mean, you were there with him and Carmella and Dean Ambrose. You thought that we were going to get to see, which was really shocking that you set up that match, by the way. You really think that that's a legit thing? Dean Ambrose should be able to go beat him up?
They still have unfinished business.
I just think it's an unfair
Are we not paying James Ellsworth?
Sure, but I still think it's super
Should he not be wrestling?
I don't think so.
I feel like they have unresolved business. He is a superstar.
It's two way different caliber of athletes, if you want to put him in a caliber.
Well, you don't know what kind of caliber athlete James Ellsworth is.
Well, I'll tell you who I do know who is an incredible athlete. Let's bring on our next guest, Apollo Crews. This is an athlete right here. This is a fine specimen.
Apollo, how are you doing?
Good. Hear about the Patriots?
Okay, right off the bat, I want to take you back to what happened earlier tonight on SmackDown Live in a backstage interview I had with Dolph Ziggler. If we have it. Maybe we don't have it.
What I did to them at the Elimination Chamber was a wake-up call. A wake-up call to Kalisto, Cruz, and all the superstars of the new era, all the younger generation.
What's your reaction to that? Him saying he's willing to take out an entire generation that he thinks are standing in his way trying to take a spot.
Well, you know, I'm a little confused because when I first came in here, Dolph was one of the guys who, who helped me out, gave me great advice, and was really pulling for me and wanted to see me do well here. Then a few weeks ago, he attacks a good friend of mine in sore loser fashion after losing to Kalisto. He attacks him. So I confront him like a man in the locker room. Just ask him, hey, what was that about?
How did that go down?
What was it about? He headbutted me. Can you believe that? Headbutted me for nothing.
Oh
I'm a guy, I come from, a background of loyalty. I'm very loyal, stand up for friends and fight for what I believe in. So Dolph wants to make it personal. He's talking about all these new era guys coming in trying to take his spot. I never came in here claiming to take anybody's spot. Is he that threatened by me? Is he that threatened?
Well,
that's got to be the only thing,
to be honest, there's a lot of people who realistically should be threatened by
100%.
100%. You're literally one of the most athletic, powerful performers we've seen.
Charming as well.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there. Very charming.
I just don't get it, though. I mean, we're here fighting for the same thing. Dolph's made it personal because he tried to take away what I love. He tried to injure me severely. I could have suffered a lot more damage than I actually did, and at the end of the day, this is what I love to do. Tonight, I didn't get to compete. I didn't get to do what I love tonight.
For you to see this back, I mean, what's going through your mind at this? You're here at Elimination Chamber trying to make a mark for yourself.
I couldn't believe what was going on. You know what I mean? We won, Kalisto and myself. And again, he goes back to the same tactics that he's been doing for the last few months. Attacks me. Takes out Kalisto first while he's trying to get out the ring. While he's not watching, while he's not looking. And then attacks me with a chair. Tries to break my ankle.
Now, were you worried at this point that your ankle may have been broken?
I was very worried. You can see I was very worried. And, the first thing I was going through my head was I just hope that, it's not the end. This is what I love to do. I wake up every day. I live, sleep, breathe WWE.
Do you ever find it hard to stay positive when somebody's taking, to try to end your career, this thing that you've been working so hard for? Does that start to affect you?
It does. It definitely does. I'm naturally a positive guy. As you know, I smile a lot. But there comes a time where that smile has to be wiped off my face. And Dolph's got to that point. If he thinks that Elimination Chamber was the end of that, it's just getting started. It's just getting started.
Now, one of the things a lot of people don't know about you, but I find your story very inspiring, and especially because of where you've come from and where your family's come from. Can you kind of explain that to the people? Because I always get it wrong, and I'm sorry.
It's all good.
But he always wants to tell the story.
I appreciate that.
I love the story about your parents coming here from nearly nothing, and then he's so humble, and it's just incredible. You don't see that with a lot of the superstars.
Absolutely not.
My parents came from Nigeria in around 1985 or so, around the time my sister was born in Sacramento, California. He got a job with the United Nations, so he moved to Atlanta. And, me growing up, my dad is a huge believer in the private school system. So about 9th grade, I went to military high school. That's where I learned some of the values and the discipline that I have. That's what I live by. And I think it goes because in that environment, I met some guys that I love and bonded real well with certain guys and built certain friendships. So to me, friendships are a serious thing. And that's why when I see Dolph doing something like this to a friend of mine, I take it very seriously. You know what I mean? I started from nothing. I've worked my butt off for everything that I have. And I'm not going to let Dolph or anybody else take that away from me. It's just not going to happen.
That actually adds so much more insight to your entire MO of going out there, because I think a lot of people would be like, oh, I don't want to get involved in something like that, or to just focus on yourself.
I think you should stand up for not just what you believe in, but if you see somebody in a position, where it's hard for them to defend themselves, and you can do something about it. I don't see why not. That's just how I am. That's just how I was brought up, and it's not going to change. And I'm gonna keep fighting. This ankle is not gonna hold me back for too long, and Dolph better watch his back because I'm out for blood.
Well, we're sending a speedy recovery to you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks so much, Apollo. I'm glad that we got to get that story in here because, yeah, for people that don't actually know that, it really provides just another layer to Apollo Crews.
What a stand-up guy.
Honestly.
And when you talk to him about his dedication to his family, his dedication to his friends, his dedication to this sport, it's the kind of thing that gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
And so I've wanted him on here for so long, but I'm glad we finally got the opportunity.
And what's funny is that I feel like I know Apollo. I pass in the hallway, say hey, chit-chat with him. But to hear him say that story, it adds, just this whole other element to see just the way he is. And he really is. He's always positive. He's always a good guy. So for him to really come out here and talk about that was very, very cool. And yeah, Dolph Ziggler, I feel like this is almost getting into the realm of the Nikki and Natalya kind of stuff. It's like he's just going way out of his way to try to ruin people's careers. For someone who's worked so hard and been put down so much.
Yeah. So, and it's hard. I try not to judge people's mental states, right?
Okay.
But when you run into as many disappointments as Dolph Ziggler has, and especially in the last year, he got drafted to SmackDown, thought okay, this is a chance to really rejuvenate, revitalize my career.
Yeah.
He had those title matches with Dean Ambrose, right? Where he was told hey man, you've been in this position a million times and you fail every time.
Yep.
And then he doesn't get the job done. He was battling Miz what seemed like forever.
Yep.
And he finally wins the Intercontinental Championship and then loses it 2 weeks later. It's
tough.
Having those kind of successes, and the successes are monumental.
Yeah.
But then
they're gone.
They're snatched away right away.
That's got to affect you.
Yeah. And I know for myself, right, having things taken away from you for whatever it is, injury or whether somebody just beats you, man, you work so hard to get to this point, and then it gets snatched away from you.
Yeah.
You start to lose it a little bit.
Of course. It's got to affect your mental state. Absolutely. Okay, so you made a big announcement. We've got the Battle Royal coming up next week on SmackDown Live, so why don't we go ahead and bring on our next guest, AJ Styles.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, AJ.
You know I was supposed to have a one-on-one match, right? You do know this. A rematch.
Did I promise you that?
No. You're right. Shane McMahon did, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Promised. So why don't you do him a favor and give me my one-on-one rematch that I was supposed to? Not like tonight, dude. I had Bray Wyatt beat, but there's John Cena. I had John Cena beat, but there's Bray Wyatt. It's a one-on-one match. Why do you have to make everything so difficult for me? Why?
I feel like I'm trying to do what's best for the audience, for the WWE Universe, for the fans of SmackDown Live.
Yes. You know what? Don't get me wrong. I know you're just Daniel Bryan and you answer to Shane McMahon. You're like his puppet. I get it. So you still have to do what he says, right? You have to honor, what he says, which would be a one-on-one rematch for the WWE Championship, right?
So you're correct in the sense that I am not the sole decision maker in this company.
That's what I said.
There are other people higher than me. Yes, that is correct.
But you go against what they say, basically. I was promised a one-on-one rematch. Did I get that? No. Not tonight. I got a chance, an opportunity.
You were the one who was complaining about John Cena getting a rematch tonight.
Yeah, well, because I was
match
promised.
That we had advertised. We had advertised that match.
Well, maybe you should have thought about it before you advertised it, that I should have gotten mine way before John Cena.
That was an executive order above my pay grade. I'm sorry.
That's always going to be your excuse.
For you to be able to watch this back and see, the situation that you've been in over the last couple weeks, that's got to be a bit of a tough pill to swallow for you, clearly. But where do you plan on going from here? Whether you get a #1 contendership match or what do you want to do?
What do I want to do? I want my rematch. The bottom line. One-on-one, not Elimination Chamber. 5 other guys. Tonight. Another guy in the mix. Why can't I just have my one-on-one rematch? What was said tonight? Something was between Randy Orton and what?
Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt. Randy Orton said that he did not want to have a match against Bray Wyatt.
So there's There's no match.
We don't have a main
No,
event
yeah.
match right now.
Did you not hear?
No. Despite what you might think, yeah, it hurts when you're out there, and kind of bruised up my arm a little bit, so I went and got it checked on.
Yeah, okay, so next week we're going to have a Battle Royal. The winner of the Battle Royal will be the #1 contender for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. So if you win the Battle Royal...
I'm in the Battle Royal then, right? That's what you just said.
Yeah, you're in the Battle Royal. Unless you don't want to be because your biceps hurt. If your bicep is hurt, you don't have to be in the Battle Royal.
You're funny. You're real funny, man. You know what's not funny? Not getting what I deserve, which was a one-on-one rematch. But I can see that the best that I'm going to get out of you is maybe the Battle Royal, because I've yet to get the one-on-one rematch. So if I have an opportunity like the Royal Rumble or whatever we're calling it, it's not a Royal Rumble, it's a
Battle Royal.
Battle Royal, same thing. Anyway, I'm going to take it, because that's the only chance I have of getting this freaking even close to the WWE Championship, is being in that match.
You don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I do, because
No,
you
you
guys
don't.
are dragging your feet to get my one-on-one rematch, especially you.
We literally, after the Royal Rumble, we literally had like 2 weeks before Elimination Chamber, and we had to have an Elimination Chamber match.
But you don't have to give John Cena his rematch as soon as the Elimination Chamber is over. Like, literally, that was Sunday, this is Tuesday.
He was the most recent champion. He asked for his rematch that specific day, and so we gave it to him. And then you came out and asked for your rematch. So then we gave you
I asked for my rematch. I asked for my rematch before the Elimination Chamber. So don't you think that, oh, hey, you know what? Maybe we should give it to AJ Tuesday rather than give it to John Cena just because he lost it most recently.
Well, maybe timing-wise, it just wasn't bound to work out because, I mean, even if you went into Elimination Chamber, you still would have been up against 5 other guys afterward.
Aren't you willing to be patient? You knew that you're going to get a rematch at some point, right?
I don't know. I've yet to get it, so I don't know if I'm ever going to get one.
Okay.
Patience is a virtue.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, we'll think about that.
Patience.
Patience.
Everything comes when it's supposed to come.
Everything an opportunity here on
She doesn't have any kind of say whatsoever what happens
I
on SmackDown.
don't. I'm just trying to make it feel not as awkward out here.
Here, I'll make it feel not as awkward out here. See ya.
Good. Now the two of us can just talk.
Let's just have a little chat here.
Let's just have a little chat about what's gone on. This has been a wild SmackDown Live, and I have a headache just from everybody.
AJ Styles seems like he's kind of losing it a little bit.
Everybody seems like they're losing it a little bit.
Is it okay? It's because WrestleMania is in the air. People are starting to get nervous. They want to have their match. They want to sink their teeth into something. And right now, I mean, people are coming unhinged.
Yeah. But he's got a point though.
He does.
He deserves a one-on-one rematch. I agree with him. You know. But we're trying to work all this out because John Cena just lost it, and he deserves a rematch. And WrestleMania is coming up, and we've got all this stuff going on.
Everything's been turned upside down.
Yes, but next week we're gonna solve some stuff. We've got the Falls Count Anywhere match with Nikki Bella against Natalya, and we've also got the Battle Royal for the #1 contendership for the WWE Championship for WrestleMania.
Answers will be here.
Answers. Here.